And we are back with some more boxing, guys. And I wanted to talk about this big fight tomorrow night. You guys know it goes down. Goes down at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the return of Gervonta Tank Davis. He'll be taking on the protege of Errol the Truth Spence Jr. and Frank the Ghost Martin on a extremely stacked card. I would say this card is the best card of the year so far. Besides Gervonta Tank Davis, we have David Benavidez making his debut at 175 pounds. He'll be taking on Alexander Vasek for the WBC interim title. Because Canelo Alvarez, you guys know, he didn't want any smoke, regardless of what a lot of his fans have to say. I'm a fan, but he didn't want the smoke with David, so David moved up to 175 to make his own lane. And we have, I think we have Carlos Adames, who is the newly crowned WBC middleweight champion. He got the belt when it was stripped from Jamal Charlo, so he was elevated, and he's taking on Terrell Goucher. We have Gary Antoine Russell. He'll be taking on Alberto Puello. So that ought to be an awesome fight as well. Like I said, just a stacked card. This is one you don't want to miss. So if you're not in Vegas, make sure you order the pay-per-view. When they put on good fights, guys, pay for the fights and support boxing, the sport that we all love. So that's my little, message to give to the boxing fans out there. Now let's talk about it, because I think the weigh-in hasn't been done yet. I think by the time I actually get this video up, the weigh-in will be done. Frank the Ghost Martin, is he one of the toughest opponents that Gervonta Tank Davis will face up to date? I would say, in my opinion, I wouldn't say he's the toughest opponent. I would say he's the most athletic opponent that Gervonta Tank Davis will ever face up to this date. I would say the toughest opponent would probably be, I would have to give that to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And we know Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he's not a skill fighter, but he is a rough and rugged guy that's going to be up in your face. So I would give that to him. I think the most disciplined fighter he's been in the ring with is Mario Barrios. You guys know Mario Barrios did an excellent job in that Tank fight up until getting knocked out, working behind the jab and using, good foot movement in that fight. I thought he fought a solid fight. So I think he was the most I think he was the most disciplined fighter. Now, as far as Frank goes, I think Frank is the most athletic fighter that Tank's ever been in the ring with. And I don't think Tank can sleep on this guy, because Frank Martin can upset the apple cart. Frank Martin can get the win. Not only is he athletic, he has a very educated jab. He has a great 1-2. Despite what a lot of people say, I think he has good footwork. He uses a lot of angles. I think he's a solid fighter, and he has, respectable power. He can get you up out of there. So Tank can't really overlook that. Now, I think the problem with Frank is, him not being able to fight well on his back foot. I think another thing is he doesn't move his head a lot, and sometimes he lunges in when he punches. So you guys know, if Gervonta Tank Davis catch you slipping, he's going to make you pay for it. He's an excellent counter puncher. He's not a, he doesn't have a lot of punch volume, but he will wait for you to make a mistake, and he will capitalize off of that. So that's something Frank's going to have to watch out for. He can't get sloppy. He can't get careless. He's going to have to be on his P's and Q's the whole time, because we all know Tank is a great boxer, but he has that equalizer, that one-hitter quitter that can get you up out of there. And that's something that Frank Martin has to be weary of in this fight. Tank Davis, just a powerhouse when it comes to knocking folks out. I think he has a 93% knockout ratio, and so that's nothing to sneeze at. 29-0. I think he has 27 KOs. Yeah, he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare. Now, I think the thing that's going against Tank in this fight is probably him being out of the ring for so long. There could be some ring rust there. So we're gonna have to let and see that play out. Maybe it'll be a factor in the fight. It could be. We've seen that before, time and time again. But I think a thing that plays for him a lot is, the experience factor, being on the big stage. Frank's never been on the big stage before, so this is his first time. You know, the bright lights, being in Vegas, and you know, headlining a card. Yeah, it could all get to him. You know, and you know, he could you know, make a mistake. You know, just overwhelmed by the moment. But as far as the fight goes, I think it's going to be an excellent fight. I don't think the fight will end early, but I will give the edge to Gervonta Tank Davis. I think Gervonta Tank Davis is going to take this due to his experience factor, due to the power factor, due to some mistakes I think that Frank makes in his fights. He's still learning stuff, but I think the fight goes late. I think Gervonta Tank Davis stops Frank in the 9th round. That's going to be my prediction. He stops Frank in the 9th round. So let me say this before we get done here. It's put up or shut up time. It's put up or shut up time. No more talk. All the talking's over, and somebody's O has to go tomorrow night at the MGM Grand. But anyway, that is my prediction, guys. You guys let me know what you think about the fight tomorrow night. Who do you have? Do you think there'll be a knockout? What round? You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.